Good morning, people. Good morning. Hope everybody having a good day. It's a good morning. Just want to drop my friendly advice from the inside of my life in a day of a trainer trying to be better. So I want to talk about weaknesses. And in the direction of recognizing your weaknesses. When you're changing, part of change is knowing where your weaknesses were in the past. And weaknesses have to do with your character. There's certain things inside you that are weak that you're more vulnerable to be triggered by. And part of change is identifying those. So certain triggers in life will trigger you to be highly angry and you're impulsive, and these are weaknesses. So when those tests come, and when those tests come in life, and you have that split second to think or making a rational decision of how you respond, you're challenging your weakness right now. And the only way to make your weakness a strength is to remain strong in the face of that moment. And that moment could be very pressing. So me as an individual, let me give you a little bit of insight. I used to have a lot of inferior and insecurities about myself and my strengths and my potentials that I could apply to this world to be better. You know, my whole history as a childhood, I went through a lot of changes, a lot of identification changes, doubting myself, low self-esteem, very insecure about the external aspect of how people in society would accept me for my skills and my strengths. And it took me a long time and a long process of transitions, transformations, a lot of trials. Read the book when it comes out and you'll understand better. But what I'm saying, at the point where I'm at in this life, those complexes and insecurities are there as memories to refresh my memory of where I was to where I'm at now, but they still can be pressed upon because that's the mind. The mind will hold those psychological glitches in your character almost to keep you stronger or keep you on point that you don't fail in the future. And people are the triggers of that sometimes. When people say things to get reactions, when people do different situations to get reactions, they're going to press upon these weaknesses that were in your system, maybe from childhood, teenagehood, high school life, to college life, to an adult. And you strived all your life to get better with these situations, and you want to be better. So when you're faced with dilemmas and situations that are going to press on the emotional aspects of insecurities and complexes in your body, you want to be successful. And it takes patience and it takes time to make rational, right decisions of either it's verbal or actual action. You got to think, because it only takes a split second to be taken away by that emotional mindset and do irrational stuff, lash out, and lose your freaking mind on pressing issues that run deep to your core. And people do not understand the extent of your core issues. It's very hard for them, unless they're like a doctor, a psychologist, a long-term counselor that's going to invest in your brain, your stitching and your makeup. You can't really expect anybody to understand how you tick. You can try to explain yourself 100,000 times. It doesn't make a difference because people have their own selfish autonomy ways that govern them out in this world. And it takes a certain breed of people to slow their own tempo of their own life to really understand somebody else's life and their stitching. So it's just a lot of work. So with knowing that, you got to kind of be the better person and think this person doesn't know. No matter how many times I talk 100 times, explain 100 times, expose it to you 100 times, it's not on them to know that kind of stitching and how you're hardwired and how you think and how certain things trigger you and certain statements are just bam to your head and make you want to explode. Because it's about you being better. And with you being better and you becoming stronger every situation, every time you're faced with a situation that targets your weaknesses inside you, where those weaknesses used to be triggers to make you fail and fall, victim to yourself and your own choices, every time you conquer those, you get better. And that turmoil and that suffering, pain, feeling in the brain that's connected to the stomach that makes our acidics and chemicals bubble in our stomach, it starts to be less potent. the feeling starts to be lesser and lesser because you're getting better and you're adapting and you're changing the chemistry inside your mind that triggers all these feelings and reactions, and you start to see things better. I tell you this because these are the transitions that I have been focusing on for years now with my own personal development through different things in my life and how I used to think before and how I think with stepping stone mindset. That I've conquered that, I've gotten better. I'm stepping over that, I'm getting better. That trial and error is real. But trial and error can only be real if you have gained character building skills and gained knowledge and have a better perception on how to move in life. And I'm giving that back. I'm trying to give that insight back to the people that are going through different phases of their life, and you can apply this to any aspect. You know, it could be recovery, it could be change, it could be fitness, it could be nutrition. This knowledge applies to all that because it's a struggle. And the struggle lies inside dominating your mind to be better. Dominating your mind not to be such a possessive, controlling organ that will not let go of certain things or will not change the scope to look at things from a different point of view. Instead of just bang, 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 bang. It's not like that. It's not a nutshell. It's not how the mind, it's not how people work. So in dealing with your own weaknesses, you got to identify what your weaknesses are in order to get strong with them. If you can't self-evaluate yourself and recognize when you're being triggered from something outside of you that's touching deep inside of you, to stitching to your makeup of your whole life experiences, that's rooted with history, with events, times, and feelings, if you can't identify how at this day and time certain things press on history inside you, you're not going to be able to change. It's difficult. And I ask myself these questions when I'm triggered and I want to react in a different way and haste and not use my strength and my knowledge and my potential and apply it to myself. It's like I fail to believe in myself. I want to believe in myself. I don't want to keep failing myself. I don't want to speak so highly and educate other people, and then when it comes to me, that weakness and that education I'm trying to give to other people, I lack the belief in myself. Because learning to believe in yourself is a long process too, man. Because believing in yourself is loving yourself and understanding yourself and accepting yourself and not playing mind games yourself, not looking in the mirror and giving a double take. Like, you look in the mirror, that's who you see. That's what you are. You don't look in the mirror and you have different visions and different thoughts going through your mind. You see where you want to go, and you're confident with that. And building confidence is hard as hell out here. It's a lonely world when it comes to the self-building confidence. So, main step, people, identify your weaknesses. Identify them with yourself. You don't need to make them public. You don't need to post it, but your weaknesses is your key to understanding how you're going to get stronger in this life out here. So with that, be kind, be grateful. It's a struggle out there, man. Don't let situations dishearten you and not believing in yourself. It starts with believing in yourself, man, and confidence in yourself. Be kind, be grateful. God bless you.